Kratos and Atreus enter the hidden chamber that was next to their home. Vanaheim was their destination, and they learned they can get there through this hidden chamber. As they approached the gate, Atreus began to hold up the item to make the gates open. Then they heard a scream. Freya had ambushed Kratos and attacked him directly. Kratos tried to avoid a fight with Freya the whole journey. However, now there was nowhere to go, and Kratos had no choice. She attacked with her sword, stabbing and slashing. A lot of her blows landed, and Kratos defended himself as best he could. She was stronger than any Valkyrie they fought before. Her wings made her faster, her sword and her magic made her stronger, and her hate fueled everything else. With every blow Kratos landed, she healed herself instantly with her magic. She seemed unstoppable. Atreus finally managed to open the gate when Kratos was stabbed straight through his stomach. While impaled, she flew upwards, lifting Kratos. Kratos, ignoring the pain, landed a right hook to Freya's temple. Dazed by the blow, she flew straight into the portal, into Vanaheim. But the blow made her lose balance even in the air, causing her to fly upwards. Kratos grabbing on her neck with both hands, hoping the lack of air would make her go unconscious. She held onto his throat with one hand and began to pull the sword out and stab him again and again and again. Now spinning out of control, rising higher and higher, Kratos, with both hands still around her neck, gives her a massive headbutt, which separates the two as they both crash land to the ground below. Freya stood up slowly, and Kratos, while holding his wounds, stood as well. Freya began to walk towards him when Vanir gods started surrounding the two, ignoring Kratos, and they focused on Freya. Freya's rage grew even more. She screamed at the Vanir people, watching in the distance. She yelled at them, saying they all betrayed her when she left. They turned their backs on her, and that's why all of this was happening. Then two Vanir gods approached and locked eyes with her. Her brother and her father approached. She screamed at them to go away. She blamed Kratos for killing Baldur, but began to blame them as well. He told her they were angry when she married Odin. Their love for her was changed into hatred as she had joined the enemy, but as the decades went by, they realized Freya saved their lives. During the war, the Aesir and the Vanir were losing so many lives on both sides. If she had not married Odin, more lives would have been lost, and that no one but one person is responsible for Baldur's death, and it's time that she admit who it really was. She screamed at them and said it was him while pointing her blade towards Kratos. Her father replied in a calm voice, "We were watching from here the whole time. He may have snapped his neck, but he was dead long before then." With those words, Freya grew tears in her eyes. She charged forward towards Njord with her blade, ready to stab her own father. But he was too quick. He disarmed Freya while holding her close. She thrashed and crashed while in his grip, screaming that it wasn't her, that she's not a monster, that she just wanted to protect Baldur. However, with the expression of sadness on her face, anyone could tell that she didn't believe the words coming out of her mouth. With her family beside her, her father on her right and her brother on her left, and many Vanir gods surrounding them, for the first time in 3 years, she mourned for her son and let her emotions go. Moments passed. Freya and the other gods haven't moved. However, time was ticking. Atreus reluctantly approached Freyr and told him that they have a way to fast travel to any realm that they visited before, to get the elves under control and to unite the realm. Kratos finally approached Freya, who was on her knees. Her father was next to her still. Kratos asked her what was the weakness of Asgard's walls. They needed to launch an assault soon and needed to know of a way in. She looked at him and stood up. She told him she may never be able to forgive him for what she did to Baldur, but says that she caused Baldur's death as well. Kratos just looked at her and once again asked about the wall. Freya replied the stonemason's son told her on the east side of the walls there is a point where if enough power is applied to one spot, the entire wall will come crumbling down. However, there is a problem. In order to hide the weakness put in the wall, he couldn't make it so obvious, and you still need an extremely powerful weapon to break it down. Your axe, not even Mjolnir, will be strong enough to break down the wall. I don't know if a weapon even exists in this reality that can force a way through. Trust me, I looked. Kratos' hand started to shake. To hide this, he made a fist, but that couldn't stop the flashes from coming. The memories he once fought so hard to erase were once again flowing through his mind. Freya accepted what she did to her son, and now Kratos must return to the place where he destroyed his daughter and his wife. He knew where to get such a weapon. They needed to visit Tyr. Woof, okay, that was a lot. This is going to be the explanation part of this video, but before that, let me know if you actually enjoy this style of theory making. A lot of you know I used to do it this way a long time ago, and I want to return. There's like, 70 days until God of War Ragnarok comes out, so I want to put out my final theory, so let me know which format you guys like, the old one or this one. So let's talk about my theory. I do believe that there is a way for us to fast travel that's not using the Bifrost, and I think that's the hidden chambers that was scattered all throughout all of the realms, especially Midgard. There were a few there. And I think the one where we fight Freya is the one closest to Kratos' home, because that is the only hidden chamber in God of War 2018 where we actually did not fight a Valkyrie at all, and I think that they're saving this place for Freya. Now, I do have a theory as to why I believe these hidden chambers lead to different realms. I'll go more in depth in another video, but I will say this. If you remember when we went to Jotunheim in God of War 2018, we didn't just appear there like the other realms. There were a set of stairs there, and these set of stairs went into this glowing portal type of thing, and that's how we landed in Jotunheim. And if you look behind some of the hidden chambers, there's actually a staircase going upwards. This leads me to believe that what if behind these hidden chambers are ways to travel to different realms? And even the ones that don't have staircases, they do have paths that lead forward. That this isn't the... So, I think we use the hidden chambers to get there. And again, please look out for that video when I put it out. Next, I don't think that Freya is gonna die, at least die because of Kratos. I think that Freya has a very big future in God of War. Here's what Cory Barlog said about the origin stories between Freya and Kratos.
For me, this is this really great origin story of Freya. That her origin is a lot like Kratos. It's very tragic, and bad decisions were made, and those bad decisions snowballed into something that just kind of got away from everybody. And where she's going to go next is so awesome.
Cory has went on record several times saying that Freya is going to play a huge role, that her story is going to be so interesting, and I think that it's too early to kill off a character like this. I think the future of God of War and the future of Kratos' life, I think Freya is going to be a big part of it, and I don't see her dying in the next game at all. At least I personally don't want her to. When it comes to her father and a brother, Njord and Freyr, they both play key roles in God of War, and they exist in the lore a lot. They're mentioned several times. In Midgard, we know that Njord has a whole city that worshipped him, and this was the city that Thamor actually fell on when Thor killed him. And Freyr is actually the leader of the elves in Alfheim, of the light and the dark. But even in the Aesir Vanir War, they're mentioned a lot as well. Here is a page from Lore and Legends. Njord, Freyr, and Freya, they came together and they played big roles in that war, doing some massive damage to the Aesir. So I think that there's a huge chance we're going to see Freya's entire family. We're going to see the Vanir gods. And I think when she actually unites with her family to finally mourn Baldur for the first time, I think she's going to realize that this was her fault. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm going to be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.